starting.
Every time my guest is surprised by the start. I love it. Every time, like, whoa.
I've never started a Huber syndrome like that.
So calm and
in
cool.
my life, yeah. But this is a different kind of Huber syndrome,
This
I guess.
is intimate. This is Intimate Hour with Ben Moore.
If I didn't know you so well, this might make me a little bit uncomfortable. But because I know you, it's actually really putting me at ease.
Get excited.
Yeah.
Dude. I want to start things off right, Ben.
Okay.
I'm going to start it off right.
Oh, gosh.
All Might.
Yeah!
I watched it. First episode.
I didn't know that until right this moment.
Yep. First one.
Yeah.
Episode 1 of My Hero.
I am here.
10 out of 10, dude. I'm in.
Huber, if you think the first
So
episode is the 10 out of 10, just wait.
Yeah, dude.
It pretty much just gets better from there.
I'm
Not
ready.
universally true, but
I am ready.
oh man, so you
really
liked
good.
it.
Really good. I love the premise. I love the art. Love the character so far.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
Yeah,
What's the main
I-
character's name? See, I've only watched one, so I'm like, I don't
Just
know
call
anything.
him Deku. It's
Deku.
easy to remember.
Deku.
That is, he's commonly referred to that.
Jolly.
By that. Midoriya.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the the beginning when like the giant kaiju like
Yeah.
shark is there. Crazy.
And the
dude.
pro heroes come in and clean up the mess.
So
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's just watching, like, oh, dude.
It's great.
Really cool premise of like people have powers, but like they don't
Right.
really use them for heroic things.
Oh, they do. It's just
Like certain people, I mean.
it's regulated, and as you know with Deku, not everyone
Yeah.
has a quirk. So-
And cool too that they planted the seed with his parents. Apparently
Yes.
his dad can breathe fire, and his mom just does the little like force pull the thing close.
Yeah, Deku's mom, she starts amazing, and she's not heavily featured on the show, but there are some scenes with her that are just absolutely amazing and heartwarming and cute. And
Yes.
it is a show that I think, from an outside perspective, is easy to dismiss as like, okay, it's telling an underdog story. This kid wants to become a superhero. How's this gonna go? And I guess yes, in the most cynical ways, it plays on those expected beats.
Yeah.
But it also plays on things that you just experience as a human being. Like,
Yeah.
you want to go after dreams.
Yep.
You want to fight for what's right. And so if you can do those universes messages well, it's okay that you've heard them 1,000 times. They still resonate.
I love simple stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple
absolutely.
premises.
And it never gets, like, obviously things get more complex as villains come
Definitely.
in and all of that stuff, but it never gets crazy.
Yeah.
So
I'm into it. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch more, but it was like 4:30 in the morning.
Sure.
I watched one.
I
and I
understand
was like,
that.
okay, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, if you are into this first, you made me so happy. This is a gift. We could end the episode right here, and I think we've accomplished everything we needed to.
And it's
yeah.
not too bad. It's like 55 episodes so far.
Yeah, it's around there, like
Seems
56 maybe.
Seems quick.
Yeah, it is. It'll go by fast. It'll go by faster than it is, which is always a good sign.
And then it'll end, and I'll be really bummed because I won't have new episodes. That's where I'm at with Boruto now.
Yeah.
Is like, I need more.
Yeah.
And it's the worst when you're caught up on anime because you get one a week.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it goes to filler. So, like, it's like you got to wait 6 months to stockpile a batch of episodes.
That's why it's always nice when you fall into something that has a ton there.
Yeah.
But what I run into, how I solve that problem, is the worst way of solving it, I feel like.
Jump to another
you
one?
jump to another one, and then your hands get way too full, and it becomes a problem. Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Super is where I'm going to jump to.
Yeah, cool.
So.
Cool. So one of these days, I'll be on this desk with you, and I'll be like, "Hey, I watched all Naruto." Someday, maybe
So
many years
episodes.
from now, but yeah,
Hundreds.
this is awesome.
It's like 400 episodes if you add it all up. More than that.
I have not actually cried. I've not actually shed tears with My Hero Academia, but
Yeah.
I've gotten very close.
Okay.
So
We'll see.
the tears have been forming
The
in the
tier
eyes.
tier
yeah.
check.
Yeah, it's good, man.
All right, Ben. Just wanted to start you off with a little hype.
You did it.
I've been waiting to tell you that for days because it was like a couple days ago now that I watched it. It's like 2 nights ago.
This is a good counterbalance to my day because I started my morning with a dentist appointment, and I just don't. Nothing against dentists. I just don't like people sticking their fingers in my mouth. Just not a
Absolutely.
pleasant experience.
It's uncomfortable.
So you watching My Hero tips the scales.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ben, I want to talk about Iowa.
Okay.
I want to talk about Origins.
You on Slack, you were like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about these things," and one of them was just Iowa, and I was like, "What does this mean?" Yeah, Origins, sure.
Tell me about Iowa, dude. Tell me
Yeah.
about the state of Iowa. Tell me about like a typical day in the life of Ben Moore in like high school in Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa is pretty chill. I grew up in Cedar Rapids, which is not like a big city or anything, but it's not the middle of nowhere either.
Yeah. I like that name, Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids. Yeah, there's actually a comedy movie.
Dude, that's
about
why it
Cedar
sounds
Rapids.
familiar.
Yeah.
How, does it hold up to? Is it?
Haven't watched the movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look. The movie doesn't look very good, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I believe it's about this guy who comes from a place that's much smaller than Cedar Rapids, and so when he goes to Cedar Rapids, it's like really exciting.
Okay.
So that's the joke,
Funny.
right? Because Cedar Rapids isn't this huge tourist attraction.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, very chill. I guess to preface this, I grew up in Catholic schools my whole life. Well, until
didn't know that.
college.
Whoa.
So we would wear uniforms every day. So that meant cargo pants and button-up shirts, polos.
I didn't know this.
Yep, every day. Yep. I was gonna say like specific schools, but we don't need to go there.
No.
Yeah.
But in high school, did you know you wanted to get into gaming? Like when you were at Catholic school, were you like, yo, I'm going for gaming?
Well, it was actually kind of traumatic. Not traumatic. It's too harsh of a word for it. But what ended up happening, so I loved games all throughout my life, pretty much.
What was your first game you played? Do you remember?
The first game, it might have been at like a hospital because they would wheel in like an NES, and I always got really excited about that. And so it might have been them wheeling in the NES and playing Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
But the first game that I vividly remember is I went to a babysitter's house in kindergarten, and he had an NES, and I saw it, and I was like, please let me play. And he was like, okay. And it was Mega Man 2. And I remember playing, and this is why I have like such an affinity for Mega Man, but for like Woodman in particular, because that was the first stage I picked. And like I had not played a game really before, and I just couldn't get very far. But I remember marveling at these like tigers that would shoot flames underneath you, just being like, "Wow, this is so cool." And it was all downhill from there. From that
Good
moment.
origins, dude.
Yeah.
Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
For me, it's Mario 1 and Mario 3. Oh, and Mario 2, of course.
Yeah.
But my brother and I would bounce back and forth between Mario 1 and 3 predominantly.
Yeah, and it was an innocence that I kind of wish I could get back because the concepts were so broad to me at that time where I was like, this is video game, this amazing, need any video game.
Yep.
Any of them. There were no filters whatsoever. It was just any system, any game.
Yep.
It's amazing. Please let me play it.
Love it.
Yeah. But as far as getting into writing about games,
Yeah, so you're at Catholic school. What are you
Yeah.
striving for? Just to graduate high school
Well-
and go to college at that point, or what?
before high school, I didn't really strive for anything. In like 4th, 5th grade, I wanted to be a professional skateboarder, specifically because of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Sick.
Got me way into skateboarding.
What kind of board did you have?
I got a Tony Hawk deck
Okay.
because I was just infatuated with Tony Hawk. But like I went to a shop and got a real like non-Walmart deck and trucks and wheels and all that sort of thing. And that was right around the time where we had a skate park built, like a new skate park built in Cedar Rapids. That was pretty exciting too.
Do you still have skills?
No, probably. I mean, I might be able to do an ollie, but even that I'm not sure on.
Yeah.
So probably not.
Okay,
I didn't have skills at the time either.
Me either. I was terrible.
But I loved it. It was just fun, like going around, hanging out with your friends, shooting the breeze,
Yeah.
pretending to skateboard.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Grinding on some curbs.
Yeah.
That's what I always tried to do because I would just like ride on the sidewalk and then
Yeah.
like go onto the curb
Yeah.
and just kind of like it's just so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. All right, so you graduate high school.
Graduated 2008. Oh, just really quick thing about the games writing thing. I keep like pushing this off.
Yeah.
But I had a group of friends in high school who I loved, but they were like typical high school guy friends where like we all just kind of gave each other shit all the time.
Yeah, of course.
Like we were not always very nice to each other. And I remember being like, hey, after high school, I think I want to write about games. And there just being like laughter. And I was like, well, like I didn't say this, but I was like, maybe I should find something else to do.
Whoa. Are you still in contact with those people?
I'm
now?
not. Well,
None of them.
There's a friend from high school that I still talk to every once in a while. Shout outs to Mick. Who still lives in Iowa. But other than that, no, not really. I don't really keep in touch with any of them, which is unfortunate.
Dang.
There are friends that I met in college when I worked at a game store
Yeah.
that I still talk to.
Now I
every
remember
and
this.
then.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I remember. So you graduated high school.
Yeah.
Then you were working at the game store while you were in college.
Where did the game store while I was in college? But that
I
wasn't-
love this game store, man. Tell us
this game
about
store.
it.
This game store is
These
wonderful.
are good stories.
Yeah.
This place. What is the name of this place?
This place is Video Games, Etc.
Yeah.
Is the name of it.
So epic.
Getting all these call outs.
Heck yeah.
But before the game store thing happened and before I was like, I'm going to write about games, I actually started in pre-med in college.
Whoa,
And
dude.
I really liked it. I volunteered at a hospital, and it was an amazing experience because, like, I was worried about volunteering in a hospital. I wasn't sure how it was going to be, and there were some situations that weren't, like, frightening, but just intense.
Yeah.
I volunteered in the ER room.
Dude.
And so, like, you just have people come in that were messed up.
Bleeding and everything.
But 9 times out of 10, you go and you help them, and I was just setting up, like, heart rate monitors and all that stuff. It wasn't anything super special, but they were just so grateful.
Yeah.
You're helping them at a low point, or at least a low point for that week, right? And they're just like, "Hey, thank you so much for doing this."
Saving
and
lives.
You go and you bring them a
dude.
blanket, and you're like, "Hey,
Dude.
And so it was
freaking awesome, man.
before that. I worked at a grocery store and couldn't stand it, and so like it was a nice, like very satisfying step up from that.
Yeah.
But the thing about pre-med is in college, I don't know if other people go through this, but you're like, man, I'm kind of deciding the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And it was like, I enjoy this, but I don't know if I love it enough for it to be the rest of my life. And I kind of went through like this crisis. I was like, well, I love video games. Maybe I should do programming. And so I jumped into programming. I was like, I hate programming. And it was like some soul searching. And it was like, maybe this is unreal. Like maybe I won't be able to do this, but I know I want to write about games. I know I've been inspired by people who have written about games for a very long time. And I'm just going to work my ass off to make it happen. And that's what I did for
Sick.
years. And it really was a grind, man, because it was like applying to a lot of places and getting rejections, and then finally the glimmer of hope with the GT internship, and then
Yep.
yeah,
That GT internship
the GT internship.
for life.
Shout outs to Miguel, man.
Yeah.
Changed my life forever.
Yep.
So yeah.
Shout outs to Keely.
Yeah.
Hooked me up. Keely and Hoffman. It's the shout out episode.
Yeah. I was in an elevator at a Call of Duty event with Jeff Keighley.
Jolly.
And I'm pretty sure it was just him and I.
So jolly.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
So
he was
nice.
a very nice guy.
So nice.
I don't even remember what we talked about, but I remember him being nice.
He's probably like, oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, the running on the walls.
People at GT used to joke because he would like pull out 2 phones and be like looking at them at the same time.
Yep.
Don't know if he still does that, but yeah.
Awesome. All right, man. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna go to the not as fun part of the episode.
Oh, not as fun part. There's a
Sports-
not fun part to
This-
humor syndrome.
Well, it's kind of a cloud right now. It's kind of a stormy cloud. Talking about review scores.
Oh, the internet's favorite topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking about reviews, Ben. Talking about the weight. Talking about the soul-crushing criticism of YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Review scores. Ben, you and I are similar in terms of sensitivity, man. It hurts reading some harsh comments.
Yeah,
You know,
it
we
can.
we take it to heart, and it actually affects us. It keeps us up at night.
Right.
So I do want to talk about this. Recently, Dead Cells.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I think on the podcast, maybe the Easy Allies podcast, we'll probably go into more of the IGN controversy that's still developing. So we have nothing really to. I personally have
that's
nothing really to add to it. You know, it's all developing now.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of my review, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some good criticism, and I want to just talk to you about your process and about scores and kind of how that all goes down, because the criticism was that I didn't really have a lot of negative things to say, so why is it an 8 and not a 9 or a 10?
Right.
You know? And for me personally, it's just like I tend to focus on the positive a lot more than the negative, just in life in reviews, when I'm writing reviews, like I like to focus on the positive and not really harp too much on the negatives. So it's like near the end, I'm kind of just like, hey, you know, some parts are grindy. There's a little bit of randomness, like kind of brushed over it. But I think it's fair. You know, I think me personally, I do maybe need to explain negatives more and criticisms more so people can better understand where I'm coming from with, you know, an 8.
Yeah, I think there's just always that voice in the back of your head.
It's like,
right, that's like,
I clearly didn't
am I making a
communicate.
bigger deal out of it than it actually is?
Yeah.
And I think that can eat away at you.
Yes.
Because I don't think that voice is as strong when you're praising something.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when you're like, man, this really bothered me, and you have to think, well, is this a problem with me? Am I doing something wrong, or can I really throw this at the game? And I think that's where you need to be careful and be like, no, like I've got my ducks in a row. This is a problem.
Yeah. And it's just, there's so many variables, Ben, right? Like, you review a game and it's like, are you reviewing it, comparing it to games in the genre? Are you comparing it to other games? Are you comparing, like, are you comparing it to nothing? Are you reviewing it in a bag? There's just so, are you starting at a 10 and deducting points? Are
No,
you
you're never
starting at
doing
a
that.
0
That
and
I could
adding
say
points? But like, but you read in the comments and people
right
are viewing at it from all these different angles, you know?
Well, there are people that are adamant that we get paid for certain scores, and that has, I swear to you, that has never happened.
Yeah, never.
You're not going to take my word for it, but I promise you, it's never happened. Not once, not even a whiff of it.
Yeah.
I actually was thinking a lot, not for any specific reason, but I was thinking a lot about the comparison and how it is probably frustrating from a viewer's perspective to see you give something one score, but to be more positive and give it an even lower score.
Yeah.
And I think as a reviewer, the in order to function, if you're comparing it to every score that you've done, it's just a loser's game, because you also realize that you are changing as a person, right? And so the best that you can hope for is, in this moment, this is my most honest evaluation. It might, had this game come out 2 years ago or 2 years from now, and depending on what happened in my life and depending on the games that I played, it might be a different evaluation. And so I think there is a natural desire to make some comparisons, but you can only go so far.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you should totally let yourself off the hook and not think about it at all. But things will influence you, even if you don't intend for them to. So,
Roger Ebert talks about that. Used to talk about it.
Yeah.
How he reviewed movies, and he years later was just like, yeah, I was in a bad mood.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, and I think the reviews that I tend to enjoy the most are the ones where it's like, I disagree with this person completely, but I can, like, they're taking me there. Like, I can see how they got there, even if I arrived at a totally different conclusion.
Yeah, that's why this criticism kind of hurt me, because it's like, wow, I just didn't communicate well enough, you know, because it was more than one person saying like, yo, where's the criticism? Why is this an 8? So
yeah,
just, I got to get better, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a good attitude for you to have. Like, it's pretty rare that I'm happy with a review. So
I know, dude. Even when God of War went up, dude, we were like making so many changes, and I'm like not happy.
Yeah.
I'll never be happy with a review.
Yeah, a lot of things for reviews change at the very, very last minute, even big things. So
another thing is, like, I gave Dead Cells an 8. You gave Octopath an 8.
Yeah.
These are two wildly different games, you know, but they both have 8s. Where do you go from there, Ben? Did you judge each game based on the genre, or like how, you know, it's just such a...
Before I had committed pen to paper, I was pretty sure that I was going to give Octopath Traveler a 7.5.
Yeah.
And that was actually the initial score that I stuck on that script.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a first draft of the review edited, that Brandon edited, that had a 7.5 on it. But what ended up happening is I listened to that draft and just hearing my own words reflect back at me, it's like, I think this might be an 8. Like, just the tone of this, I think, more naturally fits an 8 than a 7.5.
Yeah.
And sometimes that really helps when you get done with everything and you're kind of able to take all of it instead of just like parts of criticism or praise flashing in your brain.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. But if we had used a different scale, so if we were on the old GT scale, right, and we were using a 100-point scale, which I don't love for a number of reasons, but in this specific case, I probably would have given it like a 7.8, not as a meme, but as that score on its face.
Yeah, the 0.5s are making me take harder stances, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which I kind of appreciate. I'm really trying to use the entire scale now. I gave Vampire a 5.5, which is like one of the lowest out there, extremely harsh. I was very critical of the game. And it's like it had a lot of problems, you know? Like, in my eyes, a 7 is a good video game. An 8 is a great video game, you know? So it's like trying to break away from the 7 to 10 scale, trying to like use that whole thing.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a mess for us because I think everybody that reviews games at Easy Allies like really does a good job and tries their best, but I think all of them kind of have different perspectives on what to give games, and we don't review as many things as other people, and so especially like last year, it was just a lot of what I'm playing is amazing.
Yeah,
a lot of what we're choosing to cover is amazing, and so
that's why
there were a lot of high scores.
Exactly. A lot of high scores because we choose what we review. We gravitate towards things we love,
and we're very privileged that way.
Yes, absolutely.
Almost never does it happen where somebody is assigning you something. We do have the absolute privilege to be able to be like, hey, I want this. Is that okay?
Gone are the game trailers days of Bloodworth being like, hey, you're reviewing this.
Right.
It's not going to be good.
Right.
You know, it's just we get to choose, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, reviews. I got to be a little more. Got to convey my message better. Writing's hard. Ben Moore, you make it look easy, man. I look up to you with your reviews. They're so good.
There are times where I will read
so
sentences that I
good.
wrote, and it's like, I can't even string words together.
How dare you? No, they're amazing. You're too hard on yourself. 10 out of 10 reviews.
There are people at game trailers, though, that like I miss just because of how vicious they were. I mean, they had written professionally for years and years and years and years. And I remember being an intern and handing them the script and being like, you need to rewrite this whole thing. And sometimes I think somebody pushing you that hard is very beneficial.
Okay. I do appreciate that too. Absolutely.
But I do have to say, especially over time, like since he started till now, Bloodworth has become an amazing editor. Like, shout-outs to him. I think at the beginning of Easy Allies, he was a little bit hesitant to change things. He was a little bit less confident in his editing skills. But now there were like absolutely beautiful edits that were in the Octopath script that a lot of people won't even realize because his name isn't on it. They're not on the specific edits. That would be awkward.
Yeah.
But no, he changed things just so elegantly.
Yes.
Or when he doesn't get something, he really pushes you to explain it better. And he's just really grown into somebody that like I love giving my script to them.
Heck yeah. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
The handoff to Bloodworth. Feel good moment.
Yeah.
Lastly, as we round out this review talk, do you feel like there is a randomness to scores, Ben Moore? A small bit of it of just like, here's, here's what's in my brain. I'm going to score it this. Like, okay, so we use all the information we have. We play through this game, we give it our best gut feeling, but isn't that kind of random at the end of the day? Kind of a gut feeling like, I really think this game is an 8. You know, at the end of the day for Dead Cells, I was like, this is a solid game, 8 out of 10, love it, solid, boom.
It's an inexact science for sure.
An inexact science.
Yeah,
I like that. Trademark that.
It's brutal, man. Those scores, some of the scores will haunt you. There are a number of scores that if I could go back and change, I would. It's inexact, and I think that's why you see those last minute changes and why you really need reflection on what you're giving something. And there will be times where a year from now you'll come back and be like, it should have been 0.5 higher or lower. But as long as you can recognize that, and as long as you get more confident in your ability to do scores, and I think that it's taken me a very long time, but I felt a lot more confident this year on the scores that I've landed on than years past. Where
Nice.
at least in this moment, there isn't a single score that I've given this year where I'm like, man, I really wish I would have gone higher or lower.
Dead cells, man. Wish I would have gone like 0.5.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll happen. But I mean, what's nice is you're internalizing that and you're thinking about how to get better. You're not blaming the commenters, being like, whiny commenters.
Yeah, because it wasn't like, oh, you're wrong. It's a 9 or a 10. It was like, yo, like, just curious. Like, what didn't you like? Like, why is it an 8? It was good criticism that I'm taking to heart, learning from, moving on.
And that's the vicious thing about feedback, right? Is there is so much good stuff where you're like, wow, they're really right, or they're really using a lot to support the argument that they're making. And then there are other times where it's like, wait a minute, you didn't even read it. What you're saying doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm going back and I'm looking at it, and that doesn't work out. But it's okay. You got to take the good with the bad.
Exactly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Have you seen that movie? Ben,
No,
what's your
I
favorite
haven't.
Western film? Have you seen many Westerns?
I haven't seen a ton of Westerns. There was a point where I was in a Western kick, and I saw something, and I thought it was pretty good, and I don't remember the name of it.
How long ago? Was it new or
It
old?
was a while ago. It was years ago. It was like at least 3 years ago. It was an older movie.
Older movie. Who was in
Yeah.
it? Clint Eastwood?
I think Clint Eastwood was in it. I think
Was
it was
it
a
called
Clint Eastwood film.
Unforgiven?
It might have been. It was just on TV,
Okay.
and I was still like, I'm kind of always secretly riding on the Red Dead Redemption high.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
People out there don't think the game has aged well, or they don't like certain things about it. But for me, it was definitely a high point of last generation.
It's a 10.
I like it quite a bit.
I'd give it a 10.
I probably would have given it right around that number. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
What's the last movie you saw? Well, how's your movie?
The last movie I saw.
How's your movie going?
So yesterday, I was telling you this before we shot. I needed a day of rest.
Yeah.
We had done Evo all day, and just that whole week, I had not gotten a lot of sleep. And I think you can see it on my face on Frame Trap and the Evo thing. I was just exhausted. So I just needed a day where I was just kind of chill. And I don't do this, but I laid in bed and I watched Dragon Ball Z Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan and then fell asleep.
Sick.
So that was
Sick.
the last movie I watched.
Excellent.
Cool 70 minutes. Yeah.
Cool 70 minutes.
Yeah.
I like the Bio Broly one a little more. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen Broly. I haven't seen Broly the Second Coming either. So
There's 3 Broly
There's 3
movies?
Broly
oh my
movies,
god, I don't
yeah.
even remember there being 3.
yeah, I not that long ago. This year, I made it a point to just get all the Dragon Ball movies,
Nice.
chip away at them whenever I need a day of rest.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I need to watch the Naruto movies. I've only seen the newest 2,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess there's like a ton of other ones.
Yeah.
But it's like filler. You know how I am with that filler, man. Just cut it out. But I think with Dragon Ball Super, I'm going to watch the filler because everyone says it's amazing.
Yeah, the thing for me that hit me pretty hard was this movie originally came out in 1993, and just that era of Dragon Ball Z animation.
Yes.
There's something about the way Goku's face looks and the design of those characters that I just super dig and is incredibly nostalgic for me. And so from a purely audio-visual standpoint, it was good. Like, I didn't even need to get invested in the story all that much.
Who's your favorite anime character, Ben Moore?
My favorite anime character? That is a really good question. It's probably somebody from Cowboy Bebop, and I was going to say Spike, but I think Ed is my favorite
Sick.
Cowboy Bebop character. Somebody who really... I like a lot of the cast of Fooly Cooly, too. That would be a strong second contender, but like Toonami was so fundamental in shaping me as a person. And I know that seems like it's putting a lot on it, but I think it's true.
What was his name? Jack, right?
Yeah, Jack
Dude,
is
the
amazing.
best.
Yeah.
Jack had like my hopes and dreams, dude, in the palm of his hand.
He's amazing.
When
Jack is
Jack
amazing from
would-
episode 1.
When Jack would tease new episodes of Dragon Ball Z, it was Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like new episodes coming August 15th.
Yeah.
Toonami.
And he had lore behind him. You know,
Yeah,
that character
dude.
evolved.
So rad.
Um,
Is he still around? On Toonami?
I think they did. I think you're thinking Jack. Are you thinking of Tom?
Tom? Is it Tom?
I'm pretty sure it's Tom.
The like robot dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where's the phone? How do I not have my phone on me?
Tom?
Yeah.
Toonami? Yeah,
Tom-
Toonami?
Google Tom Toonami.
It's got to be Tom.
But anyway, I'll just explain about Ed really quick.
Yeah.
So at that point in my life, I was trying to figure out who I was. And Ed, to me, is somebody who is this just total weirdo. Is
Tom.
extremely smart and carefree. So it's Tom. Yeah. All
Tom
right.
hype. So carefree.
I'm
Ed.
really bad with names.
Me too.
Even things that I loved in my core, I will just mess up on the regular.
I'm good with faces.
Yeah, very good with faces.
If I
Absolutely.
see like someone
Incredible
on the
faces.
street once
Yeah.
and then I run into that same person 3 years later in a grocery store, I'll remember your face. Like I've seen you before. So
Yeah.
Ed hype.
Ed hype. I mean, really, the whole cast of Cowboy Bebop. But Ed was just this kid who was eccentric, you just couldn't pin down a label on Ed, right? He was just kind of this eccentric weirdo who was a genius, but was also carefree and like kind of took joy in just being happy. And I really gravitate to people like that because I think I'm a pretty naturally cynical person. And it's really easy for me to get in a corner and be like, this sucks. It's never going to get better. These people are stupid. And to kind of just have this outward negativity. And so seeing influences that are not that really just kind of have a high for life, I think are amazing. And I really love those types of people. I think you're one of those types of people.
Thank you, Perrin.
I think that's like part of the reason we're able to get along so well. It's because you just have that energy.
Gotta keep it up.
Yeah.
Gotta keep that energy
Yeah.
up.
Gotta keep those eyes open.
Because there's so much good right now, Ben, in the media realm of my brain. There's so many movies, so many shows, so many games.
It is a little weird, and we've talked about this 100 times, so I'm only going to just briefly touch on the point, but in like high school, in the beginning parts of college, I was like, the things that I loved and the way that I love them feel like they're going away. And that happened a little bit with me in anime, which is my own fault. The anime that I loved as a middle school, early high school student were like, it was so incredible and so perfect that what I watched after didn't hit that level for me.
Yeah.
And it was on me for not digging deeper, but I just kind of fell away. I was like, this just doesn't have that magic to it anymore.
Dang.
And the same thing happened with certain video games.
So weird hearing you say that.
Yeah, the thing happened with certain video games where I could not have been more excited for Final Fantasy 13. That's probably my own demise, right? With how much Final Fantasy 13 disappointed me. I probably set myself up for failure, but it was weird playing a Final Fantasy game and not being into it. That didn't happen with 12. That didn't happen with 11. It didn't happen with any of them downward. So it was just a moment, right, where like this thing that I could always rely on is like kind of letting me down. It was okay when it was Dirge of Cerberus, but once we got to a mainline entry, it had to deliver. So
Tell me about Barthandel.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. 13, man.
13.
I dig it. It's fine.
Yeah, I was probably too hard on it at the time. I really dig 13 too. And despite like Lightning Returns being an incredibly flawed game in a lot of ways, I also think it's kind of a brilliant game in a lot of ways.
Dude, it's so intense.
It is one of the weirdest games I've ever played.
I
Without
agree.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
Permadeath.
Well, yeah.
It's hardcore, dude.
Just missing out on things, the intensity of that time structure, the difficulty of some of the fights and how you really had to
Yeah.
push that battle system. Yeah.
Ben, what do you think of 2018 so far with video games? Do you think we're in a good year right now? We're in August. We got, we're the tidal wave is about to crash down on us. The wave has formed. We're standing on the beach looking up. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. Just purely from a entertainment perspective.
Yeah.
Music has been really good this year. I've listened to a lot of incredible albums that I've enjoyed. I've been like the last 2 years I've been abysmal with movies. I used to be pretty good. I used to see almost everything that I wanted to in a year, and I just kind of given up on movies. It's rare that I see a movie these days.
You guys are always caught up on anime though.
No,
That's
we're
the
not.
thing.
I
Well,
wish that
mostly.
was true.
A lot of it.
We
You can never be caught up on anime. But
Yeah, I mean,
close.
I make a
yeah.
constant effort to try to get out there
Yeah.
and see stuff, but no, I'm nowhere near where I want to be with anime. But from a video game perspective, it's really interesting because last year for me, and this is not entirely true, but there were a lot of things that I had been waiting on,
Yeah.
like old loves that were coming back and burning
Yeah.
brighter than ever. Like Persona 5 was a really good moment for me. Nier Automata was a really good moment for me. That was last year. Yeah, what year is it? And then Zelda was a really good moment for me too. And this year, it's kind of been things that I have enjoyed in the past, and then kind of taking that appreciation a little bit farther, a little bit deeper. Like Monster Hunter, I've played Monster Hunter off and on since Freedom Unite, and enjoyed it, but never really like fully wrapped my head around it or got as far as I had wanted to. Just something that I played when I could, and I didn't really get involved with the community. And so Monster Hunter World, it was like, okay, let's go in, let's do this. Let's really try to understand a lot better, get involved with the community, hunt with people, and make it a regular thing. And so that's been an incredible high.
Ben, dude.
Tekken the same way.
Ben, bro. I'm glad you said Tekken too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just thank you for getting me into Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Because here we are in August. You're still doing weekly hunts.
Mm-hmm.
The game came out in January, dude. August. Weekly hunts. Still a thing.
Well, and it's nice because
Out of control.
I really don't feel like we have to stretch it too much. It's rare where I'm like, okay, this is just going to be a standard weekly hunt. Most of the time, it's like, here's a new thing.
Yeah.
Here's the PC version.
Crazy.
Here's Behemoth. And so really give it up to Capcom for keeping that game relevant for months, which I think is a rare thing these days.
Yeah. Just want to say, Kyle was like, Huber's going to last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm still there.
Behemoth.
I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah,
around.
Yeah.
Floating in and out the hunts.
Floating in and out. No, it's when we can get all 4 of us in there, I think it's the most fun.
Dude, Behemoth is hype.
Behemoth is hype.
Oh
Yeah.
my, we got to kill that thing.
I haven't really had a chance to go back since weekly hunts and fight it.
Yeah.
I really want to, and I know that there are people that want to do it.
Yeah.
So I gotta get on that.
Slay that
I
thing.
need that Dragoon armor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need Lightning to show up. Get the killing blow.
Someday.
Steal the glory.
Maybe Extreme Behemoth.
All right, Ben. What's next on your list? What has you excited on the horizon?
Do you want like the immediate now, or like kind of the now and the distant future?
What's on? I'm excited for a lot of things, but I think I would be remiss if I didn't obviously say like Red Dead, but that's still a bit away, but still it's right on the brain.
There are 2 things that are happening right now that I can actually say, which is nice. So now that Octopath is almost well and truly done, we still got to do the spoiler mode.
How many hours?
So it was not completely accurate. I think you can shave off like 7 or 8 hours from this.
Yeah.
But my in-game clock time said 106 hours. So, whether totally accurate or not, it was still a ton of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gosh.
It's a lot of time.
That's another thing to go back to review scores as well is it's hard hitting these embargoes,
Well, we did not get Octopath. We didn't get Octopath until...
Exactly.
We got it like hours before it came out.
Yeah.
So it's not like we were sitting on it for days or weeks or anything.
And it's like, here you are just grinding and grinding and grinding away. Like, do you think that it will impact your score on some subconscious level, or do you just kind of like push all that aside and not really try to think about it?
No, I think it definitely could have an effect. But for me, the thing with Octopath, I obviously felt some anxiety of wanting to get it out there.
Yeah.
But the minute it was like, we're not getting this until it comes out, there's no like, let's make this as good as we possibly can, as thorough as we possibly can. And that was nice. Saw those stories all the way through, did that final dungeon, those gauntlet of fights all the way through. Didn't do every side quest in the game or fight every optional boss in the game, but really, and that was what was so nice is when I was writing that script, I was like, I feel very confident about what I'm talking about. I feel like I know this game. Maybe not inside and out, but well enough to speak with what I like and don't like with authority.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best you can ask for.
106 hours.
Yeah, roughly.
So
It's a lot. But anyway, the things I'm looking forward to, like right this second, now that is
Done.
Pretty much done.
Curb it.
Playing through all of them, Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2, playing through X 1 through 8.
Excellent.
I played through X not that long ago, a few months ago, and then I played through X2 with the collection. That was a blast. Very good game. And then I'm a little ways into X3, and we'll go on from there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I've been feeling these like Metroidvania, man. We got Dead Cells. We got Hollow Knight. We've got Chasm, dude. I'm like a few hours into Chasm.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I haven't
so good.
played Chasm yet. I downloaded it. But just the tiny bit that I played of Dead Cells, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This game.
Totally.
It looks great. It moves so well.
Super good.
Yeah.
Blown away by games right now.
And what we do have code for, and that I've been able to sink a tiny amount of time into, that tiny amount is going to turn into a very deep pool, is Dragon Quest XI. And so we've been waiting for this for years. I know you have, especially, and myself. And, it's just,
I'm ready.
It's a lot of things. It's like, man, it's pretty rad that Dragon Quest is on a console, and B, I can't get over how good it looks and how well these character designs are being brought to life, and,
I played
and how
it
cozy everything feels.
I got to play it briefly at E3.
Yeah.
Waited in line like an hour. Finally got in. My TV was like busted.
Oh, no.
There was like a smash in the TV, so everything looked all like pixelated and weird. So I still haven't like really played it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready to dive in.
I don't want to get
Yeah,
too
you're
far
under
into it because
embargo,
A,
dude.
I'm not that far, and
Yeah.
B, we've got a review coming up. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned
And
for
several frame traps, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm working on another review for some stuff. Got some good stuff coming. Brad too is like double dipping. Dude. World of Warcraft. I am sucked back in, dude. Oh my goodness. Dude, I logged in. I did the pre-patch stuff.
Yeah.
Tonight is like Undercity raid.
I wish I could be there with you. I do.
Dude, I'm hooked.
I've just picked too many other demons. That's
Yeah,
what's happened.
exactly.
Getting into Warframe slowly but surely.
I love
And that game is
It's so good.
great.
The slide
Or it
dash.
seems great right now
Do you
anyway.
spam it? Do you spam
yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah.
It's
and you're
so
just
good.
like, I can't believe how far that jump is. I can't
Yeah.
believe how easy it was for me to get there.
Yeah.
How many times? How many times? And maybe this doesn't happen
Like
to
a
you, but it happens to
dolphin.
me all the time in games. I'm like, just let me move faster.
Yeah.
And then you play it for 50 hours, and at the 50 hours, you're like, nope, still let me move faster than you're letting me move. Not so in Warframe. You get there.
Yeah.
You get there. Which is
So
very
rad.
nice. Yeah. And
Shooting's good. Combat's good. Sword's good.
having just gone through a 100-hour game, I'm like, okay, if we want to get this out, hopefully by embargo, like let's really allow ourselves to play through Dragon Quest XI and get that review out. So
Heck yeah.
yeah,
Dude, what do you
I want to play 14 too.
I'm sorry, man, but like we gotta go back to this. Where do you stand
Where do I stand?
with Sylvanas Windrunner right now, dude?
Are
Are you aware of the goings on?
I'm aware. I've lightly followed the goings on and how
Okay.
upset people are at Sylvanas for the atrocities that she's committed.
Dude.
I'm hesitant to be like, oh yeah, that was stupid for Sylvanas to do this or anything like that, just because I haven't really watched the build up to that moment.
Yeah.
Or really the aftermath of it. But it was something reading it where it was like, oh, okay. Just a little bit of surprise, really, I think is the best reaction I can give.
So I guess, I've been doing some not sleuthing, but I've been doing some reading just from Horde and Alliance people on forums. Like really getting like this has reignited my love for WoW and the community.
See, I've stayed
You
away
know?
from that shit.
I know,
And I've
I
stayed
know.
I need to stay away from you guys.
All of a sudden it just turned on, dude. The switch is on. I'm back in. It's like it's 2005 and I'm in the Barrens.
I am just as susceptible to the pull as you are, and it's going to be really hard the night before that comes out to not. But hey, I didn't buy any cards for the Hearthstone expansion.
Me either.
So
Me either. I'm taking a little
we're
time
taking steps. I think
good.
I'm done.
Good. Me too.
Magic the Gathering Arena is pretty cool so far.
I would
so
get
we're gonna
into
stick
that.
with that.
And
Yeah.
Gwent's coming out eventually
And
one
Gwent,
day.
Yep. There's a lot of
Um,
options.
Apparently, though, people are saying, maybe Sylvanas didn't light the fire or something, and like someone else. Like we're gonna get new developments.
It seemed pretty cut and dry.
It seemed pretty cut and dry to me
but
too, but
I
I
don't
guess
know.
people are saying like, wait another few weeks. There's gonna be like more cutscenes.
The indoctrination theory. Yeah.
And like, dude, you have horde people who are like, I don't respect my leader. Like, I want to make a third faction. That's like, it's so crazy right now.
Sometimes, and only with like stupid entertainment stuff, not actual real world things.
Yeah.
The internet is at its best
Yeah.
when it comes to fan theories.
Yeah.
And like the depths that people will go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's so good.
It's very entertaining. Yeah.
The man, I always forget how good Blizzard cinematics are, man.
They are very good.
I forget every time.
Mhm.
And it's like, I get weird with like cinematic trailers and stuff. I think I've decided right here and now I'm going to turn a new leaf on cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
I'm open to them. It's going to change my
I
vibe
don't know how
on
to
'em.
handle this.
I know.
How do you do that?
Because like, so I don't like them when they're misleading and they're showing,
Sure.
when they're marketing a game.
When that's all you have to go on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Yes.
When
Okay.
when your mind can't immediately separate
Yes.
the thing that you'll be playing from the thing that you're looking at.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Elegant Ben over here. Wish I could write,
even
write
trying.
like this guy.
Sorry.
This is
I
perfect.
apologize.
No, you don't need to apologize. It's perfect. So then, with these WoW cinematics,
Yeah.
it's filling in the story and the gap, and it's adding to the story, and I love that because they just added the Old Soldier cinematic. Have you watched it? Couple
No,
days old
haven't.
only.
The only thing that I
So-
saw was the Jaina song on a boat, which was pretty good,
Yeah.
I have to say. Yeah.
So they had the announcement Battle for Azeroth trailer.
Mhm.
Do you remember that one? The big war. Incredible. This Old Soldier one is like right before that. It's like leading up to that moment. And it's right after Sylvanas burned the tree, and it's like basically why Alliance and Horde are going at it.
The problem for me, Huber, is there's so many things I want to give my life to, and I really mean that.
Yeah.
And I run into this situation more often than not where I feel like I'm not giving enough to anything, and so I'm trying to be a little bit more, just like 10% more decisive about what I'm committing time to and following through on that stuff.
Yeah.
And I realized I've given a lot of time to Blizzard. I think if you add it all up, I've given like
Time
years,
and money.
I've given like years to Blizzard
Oh,
for
yeah.
different things.
Yes. You're not alone.
And I've loved it. I will always have a soft spot for Blizzard because they honestly and truly have given me some of the highest gaming highs I've ever had.
Yes. 100% agree.
Like almost unmatched
Yeah.
gaming highs. Absolutely.
Every time I hop back into WoW, I think of those moments.
And I have no doubt that I would enjoy the hell out of Battle for Azeroth, but it's kind of like one of those things where I'm just taking a step back and being like, all right, I've been in love with you already. Time to seek out new loves.
Totally. And I know at the end of the day, Ben, when the final expansion is announced, you'll be there.
Oh yeah.
Bottom line.
Yep.
You will return to WoW
Letter
at
of
some point.
resignation for Easy Allies. I've got another job to attend to. Yeah.
Don't do it. The fan theories too. I'm so sucked in right now. People are talking about like the old gods and stuff, and like this is all part of their plan. Horde and Alliance attacking each other. It's so epic.
Yeah.
I'm so ready. All right, Ben. We gotta start winding down. 'cause
Winding down.
We got some stuff going on. Any other things you want to say, Ben? What's on your mind right now,
I've
man?
talked a lot. I
Good.
apologize sometimes when it gets
There's
to like
no reason to apologize.
good
We're
old
just-
memories.
Good. That's what this is all
Uh,
about, dude.
It's easy to go on and on, but
Good.
do you have anything you want to know about me?
When did you first play Resident Evil?
When I first played Resident Evil, that is a good question. So Resident Evil happened at a time where I would get game magazines and. Boy, I missed all the game magazines. Like, those dudes were just hype as hell for things.
Fun
And,
factor.
like, Resident Evil was one of those things that they just couldn't stop gushing about. And I wanted to play Resident Evil, but I couldn't play M-rated games. It was pretty hard. I had to beg for weeks just to play Metal Gear Solid, and that did happen, and that's a whole nother story. But I think I probably played Resident Evil 1 at a friend's house.
Me too.
But when I actually dove into Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil I think I got on my own was remake on... No, that's actually not true. I rented...
Code Veronica.
No, I rented Survivor.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah. I think that might be like the first time I had gotten one on its own. It's hard because like I've gone and I've played most of the Resident Evils, all the way through, and I have a good amount of experience with the series. But yeah, the very first experience I think was Resident Evil 1 PS1 at a friend's house, if I remember correctly. So.
Me too.
But it was scary. Like I was scared of it at the time.
Oh yeah,
and that was kind of the appeal of it. It doesn't. Except for the spiders, it doesn't really happen anymore with Resident Evil, which is okay. Resident Evil 7 was scary.
Yeah.
But I loved that fascination with horror things as a kid. Like, I remember playing the demo for Silent Hill. I don't think a video game has ever scared me that much as that Silent Hill demo where you're walking through the alley and the camera's pulling out in a cool way. Yeah, Silent Hill 1 was really scary for me.
Freaks me out, dude. PT.
Yeah.
PT.
Oh, PT. Yeah, PT scared the hell out of me. The demo for Outlast 2 also really got to me. Oh, God. So maybe I do really get scared by video games still.
I don't want to talk about Outlast, dude. Freaks me out.
Yeah.
Freaks me out.
Got any other quick hitters?
Quick hitters, lightning round.
Yeah.
Favorite Final Fantasy?
9.
Favorite Final Fantasy character?
Garnet.
Favorite Batman villain?
Joker. It's boring, but...
Favorite sequel?
Oh, damn. What immediately springs to mind is Resident Evil 2.
Yes. Favorite movie sequel?
Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh. A number score 1 through 10 for The Last Jedi.
Okay, this can't be a quick hitter. Because when I've only seen The Last Jedi once.
Fair,
and
fair.
Here was kind of this honestly happened with The Force Awakens too. I had kind of a similar thing happen with both movies.
Okay.
Where there would be things that would happen in the movie and I would be like, huh? Like, you just want to love Star Wars so badly, but then something happens where it's just punching in the face. The Leia scene was really hard for me to swallow.
Yeah. The like floating.
But there was so much of that movie that I enjoyed. There was
Second
a lot
time-
that I liked.
Second time Leia floating, not as jarring.
Not as jarring.
Because you're
Okay.
expecting it.
Yeah, I've only seen it once. I've
Yeah.
only seen it in the theaters. I've seen Force Awakens twice. I've only seen The Last Jedi once. It is hard because it's one of those things where I think after the theater, I probably would have given it an 8.
Yeah.
But the more time that I had to think about it, maybe like down to a 7.
Ooh. Okay.
But I feel very unconfident with that score and would need to rewatch it.
Rewatch. Okay. So,
So I think
tentative,
10
like
of 7.
7.5.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. I don't hate it as much as others do. I think that should get out there.
Nice.
So
Hype check 1 through 10 for Avatar 2.
Hubert, I think you and I have talked about this. I'm not that into Avatar. My hype is at like a 5.
Hi, that's good. Okay,
Out of 10.
I was expecting like a 2 or something.
Yeah,
like,
a
no.
5. I mean, it'll be a visual spectacle. That bumps it up to a 5, I think. Yeah.
All right. Hype check 1 through 10 for Red Dead Redemption 2.
10.
10 out of 10.
Easy. Not even a question.
Not even a question.
Red Dead Redemption is my favorite Rockstar game by a country mile.
Country Mile.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang, I had another one on the tip of my tongue. But you got to film some more stuff.
Yeah, I do.
We got
Gotta get Brandon Jones in here.
Yeah, we got to wind it down. Unfortunately, I could do this all day, Ben.
Yeah, I could do it too. Thanks for having me, man.
All
Thanks for
day
letting me
long.
yammer.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Love you.
Love you too, man.
10 out of 10. Had some review talk in there. Had some Iowa talk in there.
Yeah.
I didn't get to hear enough about Iowa. Next time, dude.
Next time.
Maybe we'll do
I'll
like
answer any
two-parters.
Iowa question.
Yeah.
We'll do an Iowa podcast.
I love it.
Yeah.
because the allies out there, they're loving this. They're loving these one-on-ones. So I might just run it back for a round 2 with everyone.
I think this is a really good idea that you had. I hope people are into this.
All right, everyone. See you next week. It's going to be Bloodworth, I believe, and then Dawn is the season finale.
Heavy hitters.
The Bloodworth and then Dawn. Anxious to talk easy allies with Bloodworth.
Yeah. He will have some things to say, I'm sure.
Professional.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. See you later.